Hi all and welcome to the FPL tips for Game Week 11. What a week Game Week 10 was. We saw some exciting results. Brighton really pushing their case against Liverpool and holding them in Anfield. The biggest surprise probably came at Manchester City. They lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. I mean, great performance from Palace and just one of those off days for City, but it was a great game to watch as well. Manchester United under so much pressure against Tottenham, but somehow they managed the result, and they have done that whenever it matters the most. And big development happening at Spurs due to that loss, and maybe probably it was building up that Nuno, unfortunately, with just couple of months being in charge of Spurs, sacked. And Antonio Conte has been appointed the coach of Tottenham. Now that's very interesting. We all thought that Manchester United might get Conte as a replacement for Solskjaer, but just Tottenham were smart enough to move fast for him and eventually get him on board. So it would be amazing to see. So 10 games are over. Premier League, I can say fairly, couple of things are now, I would say, settled, or maybe there is some kind of a pattern which is emerging. Number one, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City are among the top contenders for Premier League right now, and I would say Chelsea, the number one, maybe right now, at the position also for the table. But yes, the way they are playing, then it is Liverpool, and then it is Manchester City, and obviously you cannot count out Manchester United. For relegation, unfortunately, Norwich look dead and buried. Even if it is 10 games, I don't think they would be out of relegation anytime soon, and probably they may have to go down again this season. The same thing which has happened with them whenever they got promoted. So unfortunately, it may continue for Norwich. Some other teams, Burnley, struggling a bit, even though getting some draws here and there, but still a long way to go for them to be safe right now. Leeds have unfortunately not looked that good, although there are some sort of little bit of results here and there which they keep on bringing up just to keep all of us interested in what Leeds is doing and how they can come up in the table. And couple of team struggling in the mid-table. Arsenal has been very impressive in the last couple of games. I would say the last 4-5 games. They've just got their act together after a horrendous start under Arteta, but somehow things are looking pretty positive for him also, as well as for Arsenal, and they might actually be vying for that top 4 spot, because see, this is not a season right now wherein any team is running away. I can say that, right, Chelsea, they look the strongest team right now because they are more resolute as compared to Liverpool. Liverpool have looked the best attacking side. They are the only unbeaten side right now in Premier League as well as in Champions League. So they have been just stunning right now, but they are getting too many draws. I mean, last game was a perfect example because of their dwindling midfield, which not being there. So Chelsea right now is really impressive, and I think most of the FPL talk is around Chelsea's player, whom to pick, whom to drop, because there's a lot of action which is happening in Chelsea. So we will be discussing about our Game Week 11 suggestions. Some of the people who might also label them as differential picks, the transfer which you need to get in, the players which are injured and maybe out of form which you should not have in your team, and the captain picks. We would definitely be discussing that. So let's talk about what happened in the last game week 10, and I would be talking about the dream team of that game week. See, Ramsdale has actually turned the fortunes for Arsenal, the way he and Gabriel, who have been working in tandem, and there have been a lot of clean sheets, less number of goals being attempted and scored against them. So Arsenal look a formidable team with these two in the team. So deservedly in the dream team, and a very fine result against Leeds at their home, 2-0, which is a very fine effort. But Ramsdale was a man of the match in that game. The number of saves he made and how he kept out Vardy and company was phenomenal. Reece James, what a player he has been from last few game weeks. Doesn't play that much football in Champions League or any other places, but He's pretty there in the last couple of games. If you see how he's playing at Chelsea, see, the best part of James and couple of players in Chelsea like Aspilicueta or Ben Chilwell, they're not defenders, even though they are tagged as defenders in FPL football. They play like wingers. They play in the midfield. So there are a lot of positives to have Chelsea defenders in your team, simply because they would give you points almost from different avenues. A defender playing in the midfield might attack, might go back, be there in clean sheets, would be there in assist, might be there in goals. So I think it's a great time to pick up Chelsea defenders like Reece James or Ben Chilwell or Aspilicueta. Luton, good performance. Burnley has been pretty disappointed right now, but as I've said, there are one or two performances which keep on coming. And see, Norwich doing well, getting clean sheets, being in the dream team as well. So let's hope that they continue because as I've said, Norwich has a decent fixture. I said in the last preview as well, the game week 10 FPL preview. So there are some more good fixtures which you might expect Norwich to build on that. Then we have Declan Rice. See, Declan Rice, we have said number of times, he's a wonderful player. Even though he's a defensive player, defensive midfielder for West Ham, for England, touted to be the next big thing for England in the defensive midfield setup. But he keeps on coming up and adding goals and assists every now and then. And I think this player is someone who is doing really well right now, top of his game. So if you really want to have a differential pick, you can pick Rice somewhere down the line as well. Gerard Bowen, last year he was wonderful. We all spoke about him, how he used to play, his stuff and everything, and how the number of contributions he was making in the goals were great. But good to see him here as well, getting those things back. And Gallagher, I think along with Wilfried Zaha, they are the two best players right now under Vieira. And in the last game week as well against Manchester City, I think he was one of the best players on the pitch. Good to see him here as well. And Henderson scored that first goal against Brighton, which was not enough for Liverpool. They threw away a 2-0 lead which they had. And Jorginho taking penalties, playing almost every game for Chelsea. He would always be there and thereabout in the team as well. And Ronaldo, obviously, Ronaldo has been in and out. I mean, I have also kept him out of my FPL team because I was not sure how many games he started, but he's time and now and again is proving that he is a world-class talent and he still has a lot to give to this game. So talking about the next 5 easier fixtures, see, the 4 teams which we feel have an easier set of fixtures is Brighton, Chelsea, Norwich and Spurs. So if as an FPL manager you are looking to make and ring some changes, even if you're looking to play wildcard, try to get the players of these teams. And when we talk about these teams, Brighton have looked good. Duffy has looked good in defense. They have a lot of good things going forward for them as well, and they really pushed Liverpool to the brink, and Liverpool were lucky actually to get a point. Chelsea, as I've said, they are looking the best team right now in the league along with Liverpool and maybe City, although City had that bad result. But Chelsea has another favourable fixture, with all due respect to Manchester United as a fixture as well. But one tip I would give you as a fantasy manager would be to have at least 2 to 3 players of Chelsea almost in every game and have at least 2 defenders of Chelsea. They should start. I hope they start whatever you pick. For Norwich, time for redemption, as I've said last game week as well. Good favourable fixtures. I hope that they would be able to continue with that. And Spurs, I think Conte should be thankful also to the fact that he has come at the start of the season for Spurs. And secondly, the run of fixtures are pretty favourable as far as Spurs are concerned. So it would be great to see how Spurs do. But I think Son and Kane, if you don't have these players, try to accommodate them as well, because now I think with the new manager bounce and with the I think he plays 3-5-2 majorly, so you would have Son and Kane probably at the top, and they would be, going all guns blazing with no pressure whatsoever. So that's how the fixtures are right now. Now I would talk about the players which you need to sell in this current game week. And the first player which we are discussing to sell is Mateo Kovacic. Now the Kovacic, the problem is again he has injured himself in training. He was not part of the Champions League team. Sell him, and there are a couple of players who are available at the same price, which we would be discussing it later on. But unfortunately, you may need to sell him. Same with Danny Ings. Danny Ings took an interesting decision before this season when he switched over from Southampton to Aston Villa. However, he has looked good in phases. He has not been really prolific the way we know him. And on top of that, he has unfortunately got injured. So he would be out for a while. And in that, I think that mid-sized, the budget which you have for a forward, I think there are a lot of options available as well. Now, one of the players which I have in my team, but he may need to go, although I am not just removing him right now from my team, is Ismail Sarr. See, Sarr is a phenomenal player. He was touted for Liverpool for a long time, but that didn't materialize. But he just tapered off a bit in the last 4 games. The ratings of 5.64, 6.21, 6.26, 6.28 doesn't do justice to his talent, his credibility, his stats. Another problem with Ismail Sarr has been that Watford have actually struggled and they have not scored in the last 3 out of the 4 matches. Although in the match which they scored against Everton, they scored 5 goals. So Sarr has not been, even though when even Watford scored 5 goals, he was not there even in goals and assists, and he did not even create that much. So that's where I am also suggesting you to sell Sarr and maybe get some good players from different teams who have favorable fixtures and are also in the form. You can go for them. Now let's talk about the players which I am suggesting you to buy. The first one is a no-brainer whatsoever. It's Reece James from Chelsea. 5 matches he has played, out of which 2 were substitute appearances. In 3 full games, he scored 4 goals and assisted 2, which is incredible number for a defender. Shots per game is 1.3, key passes 1.4. So goals and assists both are actually there if you see his stats. And the last 3 games, whenever he has played full games, it's about his ratings have been tremendous: 9.01. 8.42 and 9.85. He has been the best player on the pitch in almost all those matches that you are speaking about. And the next match is against Burnley at Chelsea's home. Now, Burnley have conceded every time whenever they have gone out of their home. And this is against a formidable Chelsea team. We expect some goals. They have conceded 16 goals so far. Now, 16 goals is a high number considering how Burnley plays. They are a pretty defensive side if you see at the outside, and their expected goal allowed is around 15.4 as well. So just go ahead and pick Reece James. I believe, even though there is a lot of rotation which happens in Thomas Tuchel sides, but I expect them to have Reece James starting for them as well. Now the other player staying with Chelsea would be Ben Chilwell. Again, Chilwell is the same sort of player. See, Chilwell and Reece James both play like defensive midfielders come wingers, and they are not defenders actually, but they take full points of the the clean sheets which are also there. So it's a kind of a balance. You get clean sheets, you get goals, you get assists, you get everything. And with Chilwell, it's like around 1.8 shots per game, which is even higher than Reece James. And this guy is always there, running around here and there, even though it hasn't got any assists so far this season, but he is always prolific in that term as well. So a lot of good things for look forward to if you get Chilwell as well. So I personally would also have him in my team. Another player which I am suggesting you, staying with the defensive part of it, is Ramsdale of Arsenal. What a turnaround this guy has been. He has brought that positivity, that stability in the defense along with Gabriel. 7 matches, 4 goals conceded, which is pretty less, and there are 4 clean sheets which he has kept as well. 24 shots he has saved. That's a phenomenal number because that's around 3.4 points per match, so that's pretty high. And if you see also, his score ratings, his ratings have been pretty good. It's been pretty consistent: 6.4, 6.5, and then around 8.6. So Arsenal, if you consider how they are playing right now, and if you consider the next opponents, it's Watford. Watford, as I've said, have not scored in the last three of the last four matches. So we expect a clean sheet for Arsenal in this game, and possibly a couple of saves for Aaron Ramsdale as well. So get him in your team. Another player along with Ramsdale is Gabriel. Gabriel, I think these two combination is work. The combination of these two is working brilliantly for Arsenal. Interceptions per match 1.14, tackles per game 0.92. Who scored rating pretty impressive for a defender 6.53, 6.76, 8.1. I think he is a sure starter in the team as well, because Arsenal look much better when he's playing. The confidence in the forwards is much more when he's playing against Watford. I expect these two players to really give a positive clean sheet and a result to Arsenal again in this game as well. Now that's about the players which we have suggested. Now the dream team which I am suggesting for this game week. See, I have just made one change. I have got rid of Chalobah and I have got in Reece James. Although it might be a knee-jerk reaction because I just got Chalobah a week or so back, but I thought the stats which I am seeing and the pattern of players starting, I think Reece James is somebody who would play, and the haul he had against Newcastle in the last game, I don't think he would. It would be a brave and a very interesting and a very different decision if Tuchel decides that he won't be starting. So that's the change which I have made. This is my team. I'm going with 4-4-2. Although I've got a strong bench as well. So I think if you see my pick is that Arsenal may get a clean sheet in this game. Chelsea might also get a clean sheet in this game, and Brentford also might get a clean sheet in this game. So I hope that I get all the four clean sheets of all my defenders. However, Sanchez is there, my keeper as well. He may also get a clean sheet. So that's what I am thinking of, and maybe a good haul from Salah, Foden, Son. Now Ismail Sarr, I might decide to change him and get Gallagher in, because this is the only change I can make right now. I am thinking about it, but eventually you would see that as well. So Sarr might go to my bench, and forward of Vardy and Tony, I think formidable one. Tony formidable because they have a game against Norwich. Norwich has been really poor, so I expect him to have a couple of goals as well. So talking about my captaincy picks for this game, I am going with again Mo Salah. There is no other player I am actually thinking about as well. However, there are a couple of players of Jamie Vardy and Reece James. Possibly there are two players who come close to being considered as captaincy pick, but I'm going with Salah. I mean, I'm not going with anybody else. Even though he had a blank last game, as well as in the Champions League game against Atletico as well, I still expect him to bounce back and get those couple of goals or maybe an assist against a very tough Watford side. But the way Liverpool play and how they have been playing away from home, scoring almost 3 to 4 goals every game, and they have been really doing it for fun. So West Ham would be a tougher test, but I still believe that Salah would be at center of creating havoc in Watford defenses. Another tip before we close this, I think keep an eye on Harry Kane right now. Harry Kane is somebody who might benefit the most with Conte taking charge. Probably that he had those issues of thinking whether he should be staying in Tottenham or not. I think with a world-class manager coming in, with all due respect to Nuno, whom he has replaced, Harry Kane might just actually put his head down and actually start working even harder, and just to prove a point that if there is a vision of a stronger Tottenham emerging out of Conte's appointment, then I believe that Harry Kane would be the one who would definitely benefit the most. So thank you so much, and let's hope that we keep on improving our FPL teams every single game week, and I would be back with new tips, new advices, and I hope that you keep on listening to us and do subscribe to our channel as well. All the best.